Being rich means a lot of things to a lot of people. For some, it's straightforward. Fat bank accounts, luxury handbags, private jets parked somewhere in Dubai, and houses big enough to make you forget where your kitchen is. For others, the answer is a little more meaningful, almost poetic. Wealth, they say, is waking up next to someone you love, having dinner with your whole family without anyone looking at their phones, or being able to laugh freely without the weight of unpaid bills. Whatever the definition is, most of us, in one way or another, want to be rich, or richer than we are now, at least. And if not rich, then comfortable. Like the kind of comfort where you never have to think twice about grabbing the overpriced iced matcha, or where your weekend trips involve spontaneous trips to Singapore. In a place like Indonesia, the meaning of rich is no longer about money. It's about access, power, the ability to skip line, bend rules, and somehow get away with things that would land rest of us in trouble. The new rich don't just own things. They own convenience, they own silence, they own space. One particular regular morning, I was riding with Gojek trying to get into hospital my grandma's in. The traffic was the usual Surabaya chaos. Cars honking like it was a symphony, motorbikes squeezing into gaps that don't exist, and the heat already attacking full force before 9 a.m. A typical weekday morning. Everyone is out and about. Mothers still dressed in their morning duster, having just dropped their kids off. Office workers rushing to get to their workplace, Gojek drivers weaving around like green-shirted heroes. The world was in motion, and in the middle of all this, a police siren suddenly started blaring, loud, commanding, and annoying. At first, I thought it was an emergency, maybe a crime scene, an accident, something big for sure. But as soon as the police car zoomed through, yelling through a speaker for everyone to move aside, I caught the sight of a car that they were escorting. It wasn't a government vehicle, it wasn't an ambulance, it was a civilian car. A fancy family car, an Alphard, but it had the same white license plate like the rest of us. No diplomatic red, no presidential blue, just your everyday car. But apparently, everyday rules didn't apply to whoever was inside. That was the moment it hit me. In Indonesia, being rich isn't just about owning more. It's about skipping the line. It's about moving faster while the rest of us wait. It's having the power to pretend the law is more of a suggestion. I mean, who knew you could basically rent a police escort like ordering a Grab? And what was the rush? A new appointment? A brunch reservation? Maybe they were late for Pilates. Who knows? But there was, in broad daylight, wealth, or at least in its new form, flexing itself on a weekday morning. This isn't even an uncommon scene anymore. Fancy car with tinted window flying past you on the shoulder lane, politicians using public infrastructure like it's their family heirloom, celebrities closing down stores just to shop in peace. It's not just wealth, it's entitlement. The kind of thing that walks into a room like it's on the air. This shift of new rich feel different from the old school rich. Back then, being wealthy came with a certain kind of responsibility. You had to be discreet. There were certain time to being quiet about your money. Now, it's the louder, the better. If your money isn't screaming on Instagram, does it even exist? Like the influencer, the new shiny breed of rich. They don't own oil companies or inherit land. They own followers. And with enough of them, you get access to the rich people perks without decades of hard work or family dynasty. You get free things. You get priority. You get invited. Being rich isn't always about money anymore. Sometimes it's about clout or the illusion of it. But what happens when this illusion gets too loud? When it starts affecting the rest of us? When a regular Tuesday morning commute becomes unbearable because someone's wealth allowed them to bypass the rule? The new rich don't just live differently. They think differently. And maybe that's the most dangerous part. When you grow up seeing people use money as a tool to cheat the system, what does that teach you? That it's okay to bend rules if you can't afford the consequences? That honestly is optional? I've seen small-time politicians suddenly driving around in cars that cost more than an entire housing complex. I've seen public servants post photos from their first-class flights with caption about blessing and humility. It's all theater, everyone performing well. And the more we watch, the more we realize that the game is rigged. Not everyone gets to be rich. Not everyone gets a shortcut. Most of us are stuck in traffic trying to get to work while someone else breezes past us. Not because they earned it, but because they could afford to. Of course, this isn't unique in Indonesia. It's happening everywhere. But somehow here it feels louder. Maybe because the contrast is so sharp. The cap is so white. It's not an unusual sight to see a luxury hotel on the same street as a flood-prone kampung. That juxtaposition hits different. So what does being rich really mean today? Is it still about money, or is it about being untouchable? Is it about being wearing things others can't afford, or about doing things others can't get away with? There's a part of me that still believes in the softer definition of wealth. The one that said if you're rich, your parents still call to check in. If you laugh more than you cry, if you have small circle that trusts you completely. That kind of emotional spiritual wealth isn't loud, it doesn't ask for applause. But that kind of richness doesn't get you to police escort. Sometimes I wonder if there will be a point where this obsession with status peaks. Will the new rich get bored? Will we stop chasing what they have and start building something different? Or will we keep watching, wishing, and wondering? Until then, I'll be here in traffic, wondering what it's like to be late for a nail art appointment and have a police car to clear the road for you.